Hello and welcome to my handmade little flowers tutorial for today. I showed this little gift tag the other day and a lot of you ladies very kindly left nice comments, and a few of you had some questions on how I do my inking, so I thought I would explain it a little bit more in a video for you. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is the types of different papers that I use for my handmade flowers. When you're punching onto paper and you're forming the little petals, I find it quite easier to use. This is basic copier printer paper. It's a 75 GSM, which I believe is about £20. And the reason I like using it so much is it's a lot easier to form with the ball tool than a thicker card. I'll show you both so you can see what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip in to the centre a little bit, being careful I'm not cutting all the way through. The reason I'm snipping into these is it'll just help create a little bit more profile with your flowers. So using the largest end of my ball tool, I'm just going to shape around each little petal. Now you'll see on one of my other videos that I'm doing this the other way around. It's shaping like that, and then I turn the flowers round and use them that way. That's great for some flowers. By doing it inside, helps create an effect where their flowers look like little peonies. So that's the copier paper. If I take a sheet of card, which is a lot heavier, I'm at about a 220 GSM here, and then punch that out. You will notice I have to apply a lot more pressure to get the petals to shape. And when you're adding a lot of flowers to your cards, this is all contributing towards the overall weight of your card, so it's making things heavier. I like creating flowers out of card and paper. It all depends on what I'm going to be using them on. So if you just notice the difference on those, there's a little bit more detail on the white than there is on the pink. Not a lot, but when you're doing a lot, it's a lot easier on the hands after you've been sitting forming quite a few. So for the next step, I have pre-punched lots of layers out. So just to show you the technique again, I'm curving inwards because this is going to be an inwards facing flower. And obviously depending on what punch you've got, this is it's a woodware punch and it measures about 2 inches across. There's lots of different punches out there. And just have a play about with them. These ones, as well as cutting into the centres through the petal, I've also put a split in the petal itself, being careful not to go all the way through. This will also give you a different effect, and they're quite nice to use towards the centres of your flowers. It just creates a different shape. It's up to you how many layers you want to do on your flower. The more you have, the fuller the flower will be. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to protect my foam mat, I am using my Yoo-Hoo Cool Melt glue gun. So regardless of what glue gun you're using, just be careful because It is hot, so you want to protect your fingers. And all I'm doing is I'm offsetting the petals, so the main one's behind and them two go either side, just to give it a more realistic flower look. And same again. Sorry, this is the boring bit, but I thought it was quite important to show you from start to finish. You can always use your bowl tool just to get some extra shape in there. And then I'm just going to create a bit more detail on the one that was split. There we go. And people think when you're using copier paper it's actually quite delicate, but it's very, very forgiving. And sometimes the more you crumple the petals up, the more shape it gives you. So we always get glue strings everywhere. So here's one that I made earlier, and the one that I've just created now. Now the nice thing is with the centres, you can pop anything you want in there. So I will put a nice diamondy flat back gem in there. Now, I get these sheets from Dollarama. They're really cheap and user friendly. But I like using coloured ones. Now, I can't always get the coloured ones where I am, so don't forget you can always colour them yourself. These permanent Sharpies are excellent for it, and you can create your own selection of coloured gems to use in your flowers. So I'm going to use that one in here. Sometimes it's hard when you've done the flowers to get the gem to stay in properly, so I just use a glue stick and apply a little bit of pressure, and then the gem stays where it's meant to be, and then you can ruffle the petals back around it. So now for the colouring part. I tend to use a plastic sheet when I'm using my inks, otherwise I just get alcohol ink everywhere. Now I use a range of different colouring mediums for these. This is just a cheap acrylic paint that I get from Dollarama, and this is an alcohol inker. It's water based and acid free. So what I tend to use for these, daubers are quite hard to get where I live, so I use cosmetic sponges I just get from my local pharmacy, and just to make them go a little bit further, because I'm a bit stingy, cut them in half, and then I can use it for multiple projects. So I've just popped a little bit of ink on my plastic sheet, and using a bit of sponge. Now it is possible to do this with baby wipes. I sometimes do that when I can't get hold of these. You just scrunch it up in a ball as tight as you can and use it. So all I'm doing is, and I'm being quite rough here, is loading my sponge up with the ink, and then I'm just really going around all of the petals. Now you'll notice the more detail I managed to get on the petals when I was forming them, the better the ink stays to it. And depending on what project you're doing, you can decide how much how much or how little ink you want to use. Oop. Let's pop him back in there. And then with the acrylic paint, I'm just going to pop a bit of little dab on there. Load my sponge up and same again. And then you can go inside if you want to add a little bit to the centre, just to add a little bit more detail. And there you go. So there's two different flowers coloured in using two different mediums. I hope you've liked this video for today. If you want to have a look at any of the other videos that I've done, they're all on my page under the videos section. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!